Got to the hospital early that morning. Not because I had to, just couldn't sleep. There was a tear in my coat pocket, and I thought maybe I'd fix it before rounds. Little things still felt important back then. The place was waking up. The hallway smelled like damp gauze and boiled tea. Nurse Sakai gave me that look, the one she always gave when the tea was cold, and she knew I'd still drink it. I smiled. She rolled her eyes. 8:13 a.m. I stepped out to grab a rice bun from the vendor at the gate. Same woman, same spot. She always kept the bamboo ones for me. I reached into my pocket, pulled out some coins, and that's when it happened. The light didn't explode. It just arrived. White, like something from inside a dream. Not warm, not even hot, just wrong. And then the world stopped. I don't remember falling, just landing. Face first, dust in my mouth, everything ringing like a broken bell. When I looked up, the stall was gone. The street was empty. I called her name, but nothing answered. I ran, back through a city that didn't feel like mine. Walls scorched. People walking, slow, like they didn't know where they were going. No screams, no chaos, just quiet. A man sat by the fountain with a child in his lap. He smiled, brushing the boy's hair. I couldn't tell which of them still felt pain. The hospital was burning. Sakai was at the door, breathing, barely. Inside, someone was calling for help. Someone else had stopped. And I went in. Not because I was brave, just because I was still alive. The building was still standing. At least, parts of it were. The roof over the eastern wing had collapsed. Windows were gone, doors bent inward like they'd tried to escape. Inside, it was smoke and dust. The light couldn't get through, just beams that caught the ash floating in the air like snow falling in slow motion. It didn't smell like fire. It smelled like rust and boiled cloth. I found a flashlight in the nurse's station. The batteries were weak, but it was enough. The first thing I saw was Tanaka, the young orderly, slumped against the wall, eyes open. I closed them. It was the only help I could give. Someone was crying behind a curtain. I pulled it back. A woman, sitting on the floor, pregnant. Her hands were shaking, but she didn't speak. I wrapped her in a coat, told her I'd be back. I didn't come back. Not because I didn't want to. There were just too many. People were alive, but no one was screaming. No one called my name. No one said, "Help." They just looked at me. And in their eyes, I saw something that scared me more than the fire, more than the light. They already knew how this ended. I didn't. A man reached for me. His fingers were stiff, the skin like old paper. I tried to wrap them in gauze. The bandage stuck. I let go, moved on. The supply room had been raided. No morphine, no gloves, nothing clean. I wiped my hands with water from a cracked jar and kept moving. I told myself I was helping, but after a while, I knew the truth. I wasn't saving anyone. I was just delaying what was coming, and doing it with shaking hands. I was still a doctor, but I wasn't sure what that meant anymore. I stepped outside when my hands stopped listening to me. They kept moving, but not where I wanted. That's when I knew. I had done all I could, or all I could lie to myself about. The street looked like something built from memory. Right shapes, wrong colors. Bicycles leaned where people used to be. Umbrellas still open on the ground. Eyeglasses cracked, but still folded, like someone had gently set them down. No fire, no shouting, just silence, too wide to hold. I walked. A woman was sitting on the curb, arms wrapped around her knees. I called out. She didn't move. I didn't check. I'd stopped checking. Under the bridge, a group had gathered. Maybe 15, maybe 50. I don't remember. Someone said it was a new kind of bomb. Not heat, not fire, he whispered. It erases. I didn't respond. I wasn't afraid of what he said. I was afraid that he might be right. Across the river, the sky was the same as always, pale blue, unbothered. I hated it for that. I stood there for a long time, listening for a noise that never came. Then I turned around. The city didn't end that day. It just stopped meaning what it used to. In the days that followed, we cleared rubble, pulled people from places that no longer had names. Some were alive, some weren't. You stopped asking. You just moved. We didn't talk much. There weren't words for this. Only numbers, temperatures, white blood cell counts. How long someone had left, if they were lucky enough to know. I kept working, not because I believed I was saving anyone, but because I didn't know what else to be. One morning, a letter came. It said I was being reassigned, somewhere north. I folded it, put it in my coat pocket, the same pocket I had tried to stitch the morning of August 6th. The tear was still there. I don't wear that coat anymore. I don't work in hospitals. I don't like the smell of tea. Some nights I wake up before dawn, and for a second, I think it hasn't happened yet, that I can still stop it. But the sky outside is the same. Quiet, pale, watching. I was a doctor in Hiroshima. I think I still am. But it doesn't mean the same thing anymore.